further debate, I recognize the Attorney General.
Thank you very much,
Order.
Speaker. I'm very happy to stand here and vote in support, speak in support of Bill 34. I want to thank the member from Algoma Manitoulin for putting this important bill. And I want to thank all the members before that he mentioned who worked very hard on this bill as well. Speaker, I also want to thank Darlene Sparling in my riding of Ottawa Centre. Darlene is a grandmother, has been a strong advocate for this bill and the predecessors to the bill. She's got many petitions signed, so Darlene, this is for you. I also want to thank Leah Clark, Frank and Sonia Cianciullo, Wanda Davies of the Alienated Grandparents Anonymous for their advocacy and for coming to the committee and working with members on this on this important bill. Speaker, I have very fond memories of my grandparents who played a very important a part in my life, especially my nanny, my mother's mom who lived with us. I see the important role my parents and Christine's parents play in our kids, Rafi and Ellie's life. Their lives won't be complete without that love. And I'm sure we all can share those stories about our grandparents. Speaker, from the beginning when we started the debate on this bill, our government was clear that we supported the ability of grandparents to seek assistance from the family court in cases where they have been unfairly denied access visits to their grandchildren. At the same time, Speaker, we wanted to ensure that any decision about access to a child will continue to be made in the child's best interest. The law must always focus on the needs of children. That was the approach we took to this bill. I know that every member of this legislature agrees with that statement. To provide some background, Speaker, to all members, under Ontario's Children's Law Reform Act, a grandparent already has the ability to obtain an order for access to their grandchild if it is found to be in the child's best interest. Under the current law, our courts must consider the love, affection, and emotional ties between a child and any person who's applying for custody or access. This includes grandparents in any instance where the child's grandparents are an active part of the child's life. I want to stress that particular point, Madam Speaker. So this is not an entirely new concept. It does already exist in law. This bill is about supporting the ability of grandparents to seek assistance from the family court and ensuring that any decision about access to a child will continue to be made in the child's best interest. We have always supported this bill's purpose. Because, Speaker, it would be a shame if a loving and caring grandparent was not able to have access to their grandchild. We want to ensure that in these cases we are facilitating this relationship that is focused on support the best interests of children. The reality is, while in many cases grandparents play a necessary and positive role in the lives of children, there are circumstances where it is not practical or appropriate to extend this legal authority. That is why, Speaker, we put forward an amendment at committee that would make it clear that grandparents have the ability to seek a court order for access to their grandchild under the Children's Law Reform Act. At the same time, it would ensure that the court remains focused on determining what arrangement would be in the best interest of the children involved. I know that the member from Algoma Manitoulin agrees with that approach and has worked very closely with us in making certain amendments to the bill, and I thank him for that. Speaker, as we learned over the course of the debate on the All Families Are Equal Act, there are a wide array of family structures that exist. That means many people, both family and otherwise, can be important people in a child's life. There can be so many determining factors. It may be a very strained relationship between a parent or both parents and either set of grandparents. That's why, as we debated and discussed this issue, it was clear that we needed to strike the right balance with this bill and recognize the role grandparents can play, but ultimately prioritizing the needs of the child. We wanted to make sure that the changes being proposed were not overly prescriptive and the judges would be able to continue to be allowed to make the nuanced and difficult decisions that they need to protect the children who are there in front of them. We were able to make some important changes to this bill so that it continued to protect the best interests of children by allowing judges to exercise their while recognizing the important role grandparents play. Speaker, this bill is a result of hard work and compromise. I want to dedicate this bill to all grandparents and to my children's Dada and Amma and Berta and Granddad and Grandma. It reflects the relationship that my children have in their lives through their grandparents and all children in our province and their grandparents. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.